Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today in this episode of VITEEE Questions with Solution, we are going to be looking at some sample questions of the subject Aptitude. Aptitude is a very important yet underlooked part of the VITEEE examination, and so therefore in this video we're going to be looking at some sample questions of the various topics under Aptitude in the exam and tips and tricks to solve them. So we'll be displaying the complete solution as well as describing tips and tricks in order to get there faster. So here comes our first question. This question is on syllogism. A duck, a goose, a goat, and a horse all entered the bar N at different times one day last week. Now the statements here are: a mammal entered the bar N first. The duck entered before the goose, and the goose entered ahead of the horse. Who entered the bar first? So is it a goat, a duck, a goose, or a horse? So in this question, we are asked to make sense of the three given statements and then answer the question. So this question is based on the order of the animals entering the bar at different times of the day. So the best way to solve this question is to create a timeline. So first animal, then we move on to the second animal, and then the third animal, and finally the last animal. So we will analyze the statements one by one. A mammal entered the bar N first. So in the first gap, it will either be filled by the goat or the horse. Next, the duck entered before the goose. So in whatever order you decide to put the duck and the goose, the duck always is ahead of the goose. So even if they are third and fourth, or first and second, or even second and third, the duck is always ahead of the goose. And a similar relation is that the goose is ahead of the horse. So wherever the goose is, the horse comes behind it. And since a mammal is the first to enter the bar, we know for a fact that neither the duck nor the goose can enter first. So it has to be second. So the duck has to enter second or third. And since we know that the horse comes after the goose, then the duck enters second, followed by the goose, and then finally the horse. Because it's in this way that we can satisfy both conditions 2 and 3. So that means in order to satisfy the first condition, the animal that first entered the bar N has to be a goat. So therefore, option A, a goat, is the correct answer. So notice, by using the statements we have and using a timeline and then using all the different conditions in order to fill these gaps, we found out the required answer. That is, who entered the bar N first. And the answer is option A, a goat. Let's look at the next question. This one is based on direction. If Ram lives east of a post office, in the north of the post office there is a big bazaar, kind of like a huge street. Then what is the position of Ram's house with respect to the big bazaar? So in these kinds of questions, it's always a good idea, one, to draw your directions. That means northeast, west, south, and the other directions as well, northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. And the second idea that you need to be careful of is to draw a map and we draw the map by analyzing the question. So the first piece of information we have is that Ram lives east of a post office. So if this is the post office, we'll just write this as post office, then Ram lives east of the post office. So that means he goes to the right of the post, so his position will be to the right of the post office in accordance with the direction. Then the next piece of information is that the big bazaar is in the north of the post office. So we draw a direction upwards, and then we can write big bazaar. Now, the question that's asked of us is the position of Ram's house with respect to the big bazaar. So we have to draw a line starting, so we have to draw an arrowhead starting from big bazaar and ending at Ram's house. And then we notice the direction of this arrow. It gives us the direction of Ram's house from the bazaar. So as you can see, this line is quite close to being in the southwest direction. So therefore, the correct answer will be option D. Instead of, I'm sorry if I said southwest, it's actually southeast. So the correct answer is option D, southeast. So option A, northwest, is incorrect. That would have been correct if we were asked to find the direction of the bazaar, the position of the bazaar from his house. But since we have it the other way around, option A is incorrect. Option B, northeast, means it will go in that direction, which is not where his house is situated. And again, if you were to look at southwest, that is also incorrect, because if you were to draw a line southwest, it goes in a different direction from the position of the house. So therefore, the correct answer is option D, southeast. And we arrived at this answer by first drawing out the directions and then preparing a map based on the information we know. All types of direction questions can be solved in this way. Now, the next question is on calendar, clock, and time. If the day before yesterday was Thursday, when will Sunday be? So, how do we solve this question? Again, this question is, based on calendar. So therefore, we will have to write out the days of the week and then the dates corresponding to them. So what we do know is that Thursday was the day before yesterday. And the day after Thursday will be a Friday. And Friday was yesterday. So yesterday was Friday. That's how you correctly say it. Moving on. Today will be a Saturday. Today is a Saturday. And so therefore you can say with confidence that tomorrow will be a Sunday. So the correct answer is option C, tomorrow. Option A, today, is incorrect because today is a Saturday. 2 days after today is incorrect because that would mean a Monday. And day after tomorrow, so that's basically 2 days after today, again means Monday. So options A, B, and D are incorrect. The correct answer is option C, tomorrow. And it's, when you're solving questions based on weekdays, then you need to know the sequence of the days first. From where I come from, we use Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Some people start from Mondays. It's fine as long as you have the correct order with you. And then after you have the correct order with you, write the things down. So write the information down in a format such as this, and you'll get to your answer quickly. Now, the next question. This one is based on coding and decoding. In a certain code language, the word teacher is written as WGCEJGT. So how is children written in that code? So when we're talking about codes, and especially how to decode them, the best way to do it is to write the given word or the given expression and then write its code below it. So since teacher is the word here, and now we need to write the code, which is V, G, C, E, J, G, T, right below it. Writing it in this way is especially good because, well, if you're writing it in block letters, then you can easily compare each letter and find out the relation between them easily. So when you are coding something, you usually use a relation in order to make the switch from word to code. So in this case, T, the code for the letter T is V, and the letter after T is U, and the letter after U is V. So this is the second letter after the letter in the word. V is the second letter after T. Similarly, if you were to look at E, the next letter will be F, and then after that we have G. If you look at A, after A comes B, C comes after B, and C is the code here. C comes before D, which comes before E. Again, using that code. H comes before I, J is the next letter after I. So J is the code here. E, then F, and then G, R, and then S, and then T. So therefore, what we have seen here is that the pattern or the idea in which the code was created is the code letter is the second letter after the letter which is inside the word. So, using this technique, we can find out the code for children. So what we do is we write children in block letters, and then we use the code. So writing +2 here makes you remember that easily. So the next letter after C is D, after D comes E. So E is the first letter. H, +1 is I, +1 is J. That's pretty good. Let's do it together. The next letter after I is J, after J you have K. After L you have M, and after M you have N. Use the code. D +1 gives you E, E +1 gives you F, and R +1 gives you S, S +1 gives you T. F comes after E, G comes after F, and O comes after N, P comes after O. So E, J, K, N, F, T, G, P will be the correct code for the word children. And if you were to scrutinize our options, you can see that option D turns out to be the correct option. So there you have it. The correct answer is in front of you. And if you do want to prove the others as wrong, which you usually don't, so you just have to use the code and write it backwards. E -2 C, J -2 is H, K -2 is I, N -2 is L, F -2 is D, and then H -2, that will be G and then F. So see a chilled something. So again, that makes it incorrect. So then you have CHILD and then I. So that means it'll be H and then G. So chilled or something. So that is incorrect. And then option C, that will be CHIL, and then at E you will get C. So therefore, again, the spelling is incorrect. So using the same code, you can disprove of the other options. The correct option here is option D, which is all you need to find out and mark. Now, we have a very unique question here. This one is on number series. You need to find the missing number. And the missing number is right in the middle of that series. So you have 5, 7, then a blank, 9, 7, 11, 8, 13. So, how do we solve this question? The best way to solve a number series question is first to identify the difference between each term in that series. And hopefully from there, you can find out a pattern, whether it's based on multiplication, based on addition, or based on multiple types of operations. You will finally arrive at a pattern, and then you use that pattern to find the missing number, or to add to the next number, or to find the number that is wrong here. So over here, it's to find the missing number. So 5 and 7 have a difference of 2. So 5 plus 2 gives you 7. 7, we don't know the term here, and that means this operation is also unknown. Next, you have 9 minus 2 giving you 7, and 7 plus 4 gives you 11. 11 minus 3 gives you 8, and 8 plus 5 gives you 13. So by looking at the latter end of this series, you can already gauge a pattern. What you can see is that it is an alternation of addition and subtraction. And the series of addition and the series of subtraction are both increasing in value. See, minus 2, and then you have at the next subtraction it's minus 3. So the numerical value is increasing. Similarly, on the addition side, you have plus 4, and then when the next addition comes, it's plus 5. So therefore, that is how you do it. And we know that the first addition is plus 2, so the addition that is blanked out has to be plus 3. And since minus 2 is the subtraction that comes after the missing one, the missing subtraction has to be minus 1. So that's pretty simple. So our value has to be 7 minus 1, and when 3 is added to it, it gets 9. So that's easy. 7 minus 1 gives you 6, and to verify if you can add 3 to 6 and you will get 9. So therefore, the correct answer is option B, which is the number 6. So by using this method, you can find out any question based on number series. You just have to find the relation between each number, the addition or subtraction or multiplication or division, whatever is the relation between the numbers in the series has to be found out, and then only will you start solving the answer. Will you get the solution to that answer? Option A, 8 is incorrect because that would mean it would become plus 1, which is wrong. 19, again, that would skew the entire arrangement. And 7, and putting 7 itself would mean it would be minus 0 and then minus 2, which again is not according to pattern. So therefore, option B, 6, is the correct answer. Now, finally, we've reached the last question. This question is based on data interpretation. Study the following graph and answer the question that followed. If in 1987, tins were exported at the same rate per tin as in 1983, then what would be the difference in the value of exports in 1987 in terms of crores of rupees? So what does this question tell you? It means that the rate per tin in each year will be different. So the rate is different each year. And using the rate from 1983, we need to find out the deficit of values of the value that we'll get if we were to use the 83 value versus the current value, which is 500 crore rupees. So how do we solve this question? We use the rate for the we find out the rate from 1983. So in 1983, the number of tins that were sold was 100 lakh. That's basically 10 million. And you have 150 crore rupees as the total money that was received from selling this amount of tins of biscuit. So now, the rate per tin that we should find out will be 150 crores, that is the total money, divided by the total number of items sold, which in this case is 100 lakh. So 0, 0 gets cancelled. 15 by 10 gives you 1.5 crores per lakh tins sold. So now we haven't got the exact rate per tin, we just got the rate per 1 lakh tins sold. But then that is close enough because we're dealing with large numbers here, so that rate is good enough. So now we know that the rate in 1983 was 1.5 crore rupees per 1 lakh tins sold. So putting the value in 1987, the assumed total money that we would get if we were to use the same rate will be 1.5 crores per lakh tins sold times the amount, which in this case has grown to 200 lakh. So 1.5 is the same thing as 3 by 2, so 3 by 2 times 200 gives you, well, 300 crores. So the value that you would get if you were to use the 1983 rate will be rupees 300 crores. And since you have 500 already that was made in 1987, subtracting the value that you would have got if you used the 1983 values will give you the difference, which in this case is rupees 200 crore. So 200 crore is the correct answer to this question. Therefore, option D is the correct option in terms of crores of rupees. So the question, the idea is here to identify what we need to find out from that data. So we are given a condition that in 1987, tins were exported at the same rate per tin as in 1983. So our first focus should be on the year 1983 and the rate of tins sold. And then after finding out that rate, use the rate in 1987 with the value of goods sold, with the amount of goods sold in 1987, you will get a lower or higher value, and then you find the difference between them. And that difference will be the answer to this question. So that concludes this episode of Aptitude for VITEEE. We hope you found this episode interesting. For more of our useful and interesting content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, which is Brain Blitz Audios. If you want to learn more about VITEEE and the questions asked in that, then don't forget to hit the playlist, which is present in the description box below. So its link is present in the description box. And if you want to receive the latest updates regarding our channel, then don't forget to hit the bell icon, which is the notifications button, again, below the video. So until the next webisode, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.